Brutalism is often associated with concrete buildings, but its true language can be understood at a smaller scale, before space, before structure. There is the object. We start with furniture, where brutalism becomes intimate, tactile, and sculptural, then move into interiors, and finally into architecture.
Brutalism, it's cold, heavy, unforgiving. At least that's what most people think. But brutalist furniture, that's a different story.
How did Rick Owens, Kelly Wearstler, and Faye Toogood take something so harsh and make it beautiful?
Rick Owens, the dark architect. Rick Owens doesn't just design furniture. He builds monuments. His pieces are not meant to be comfortable. They're meant to be experienced. Rick Owens' background in fashion bleeds into his furniture. His designs reflect the same Gothic, monolithic aesthetic, raw, primal, and almost intimidating. Owens approaches furniture like sculpture, working with concrete, bone, and marble in their most unrefined states. Take the stag tea table, a brutalist icon. A thick, angular slab of concrete balanced on sculpted bronze legs, resembling antlers. It's not delicate, it's primal. When you sit beside it, you don't feel cozy, you feel small. That's the point. Then there's the curial chair, a seat that's more throne than chair. Cast from plywood and marble, it looks like something from an ancient temple. The sharp lines and imposing presence make you feel like you should be wearing a crown just to sit in it. Why would someone want to sit on something so severe? Because brutalist furniture isn't about comfort, it's about control. It reminds you that you're in the presence of something greater than yourself.
Kelly Wearstler, the sculptural visionary. Kelly Wearstler's take on brutalism is softer, still structured, still raw, but with a sense of elegance. Wearstler channels brutalism through a lens of refinement and sophistication. Her Nudo collection, created in collaboration with Arca, is a perfect example. Using 3D technology to model marble forms and then having them hand-carved by master artisans, she creates pieces that feel both industrial and organic. The Nudo sofa, solid marble, hand-carved into smooth, interwoven curves. It echoes the softness of woven fabric, but the cold weight of the marble is unmistakable. It's not about comfort, it's about form. It asks you to appreciate the tension between softness and strength. But the Roxbury long console is where Wearstler's mastery of brutalist luxury really shines. With its repetitive arches and monolithic scale, the Roxbury console celebrates a minimal stylistic nod to classical architecture and form. The rhythmic arches and substantial presence create a harmonious blend of strength and elegance, making it a focal point in any space. It's more than furniture. It's architecture in its purest form. Psychologically, Wearstler's pieces evoke a deep, primal connection to stone and weight. The Nudo sofa's sculpted marble curves and the Roxbury console's rhythmic arches feel grounding, like the materials themselves are quietly reminding you of strength and permanence. Faye Toogood. The modern artisan Faye Toogood's take on brutalism is deeply personal. Her creations feel handcrafted and human, yet they possess a strong architectural presence. Faye's roly-poly collection is perhaps her most recognizable expression of brutalism. The roly-poly chair is a perfect example. Its chunky, rounded legs and deep, curved seat give it a playful but grounded feel. It's not trying to be delicate. It's solid, monumental, and unapologetically present. The roly-poly dining table further embodies Toogood's brutalist sensibilities. Supported by a single, robust, rounded leg, it upholds a smooth, substantial top. This design creates a striking balance between the heavy base and the clean surface, encapsulating the essence of brutalism in its purest form. Similarly, the roly-poly low table mirrors this aesthetic, featuring softened edges and a monolithic stance that exudes both stability and warmth. Toogood's connection to Australia is notably highlighted through her participation in the National Gallery of Victoria's Triennial. In this exhibition, she reimagined the 17th and 18th century galleries, drawing inspiration from the qualities of light and the transition from day to night. Her installation, Downtime, daylight, candlelight, moonlight, created a dialogue between her contemporary designs and historical artworks, blending local materials with her unique sculptural style. Faye's work is psychologically grounding. The rounded shapes and substantial forms feel reassuring, as if they were designed to be lived with, not merely admired.
So why are people drawn to brutalist furniture now, in a world that's more focused on comfort than ever? Brutalism speaks to something ancient. It's about weight, permanence, and honesty. In a world full of cheap, fast furniture, brutalist pieces remind us that some things are meant to last. Owens, Wearstler, and Toogood each explore this idea in their own distinctive way. Owens through dominance and stark form. Wearstler through the raw power of material and structure, and Toogood through bold, rounded forms that balance strength with softness. Brutalist furniture isn't about comfort, it's about impact. It commands attention, proving that beauty can be raw, grounded, and unapologetically strong. If you enjoyed this deep dive into brutalist design, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments which designer's work resonates with you most. Are you drawn to Owens' dominance, Wearstler's material mastery, or Toogood's sculptural playfulness? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
What begins as an object does not remain isolated. Brutalist furniture is never just functional. It carries weight, presence, and silence. When these objects enter a room, they begin to define space. They influence proportion, light, and atmosphere. So now, let's move from the scale of the object to the scale of the interior.
Brutalism in interior design, the raw beauty of simplicity. If you've ever walked into a space and been struck by its unapologetic honesty, raw concrete walls, exposed pipes, and a vibe that's equal parts minimalism and industrial grit, you've likely encountered brutalism. Once an architectural movement defined by its use of raw materials and stark geometry, brutalism has carved out a niche in interior design, offering a bold and refreshing aesthetic for those who dare to embrace it. I've always been fascinated by brutalism. It's not about frills or decoration. It's about stripping things down to their essence. When you think about it, there's something liberating about a design style that doesn't try to hide anything. It's honest, straightforward, and unpretentious. The heart of brutalism. Materials. Let's talk about materials, because that's where brutalism really shines. Concrete is the star of the show, whether it's walls, floors, or even furniture. There's a beauty to its imperfections, the way the texture feels under your hand, the tiny air bubbles, and subtle variations in tone. But it's not just concrete. Steel, glass, and even wood, usually in its rawest, most natural form, play supporting roles. Picture brushed metal light fixtures, reclaimed wooden tables, and massive glass panes that let the light flood in. It's like each material gets to stand on its own, celebrated for what it is. colors that speak softly. Brutalism isn't about loud colors. Instead, it whispers in neutrals, grays, whites, blacks, and beiges. Occasionally, you'll find a muted green or a rust red, but it's never overwhelming. The palette lets the materials and textures take center stage. Shapes and structure. The geometry in Brutalist design is bold, clean, and unapologetically straightforward. Think blocky furniture, thick countertops, and massive, solid forms. It's all about creating a sense of weight and permanence. And yet, the style isn't as cold or rigid as it might seem. The interplay of rough and smooth, matte and polished, hard and soft, keeps things interesting. A concrete wall might pair with a plush, oversized chair, or a glass coffee table might sit atop a thick, rough-hewn rug. Lighting, the unsung hero. Lighting in a Brutalist space is often dramatic. Industrial fixtures, like metal pendants or exposed bulbs, are common, but natural light is where the magic happens. Picture sunlight streaming through a floor-to-ceiling window, casting shadows on textured concrete. It's breathtaking in its simplicity. Why I love Brutalism. To me, Brutalism isn't just a design style, it's a mindset. It's about authenticity, about letting materials and structures speak for themselves. It's for those who appreciate the beauty in imperfection and the artistry in simplicity. It's not for everyone, though. If you're someone who loves intricate details or lots of cozy clutter, Brutalism might feel too stark. But if you're drawn to bold, minimalist spaces that challenge traditional ideas of beauty, you might just fall in love with it too. So, if you've ever considered bringing a touch of Brutalism into your space, my advice is, go for it. Start small. A concrete planter here, an industrial-style light fixture there. Before you know it, you might find yourself completely hooked on the raw, honest beauty of this striking design style. What do you think about Brutalism? Is it too stark, or does it strike a chord with you? I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Inside the room, Brutalism shapes mood. Material becomes atmosphere. Mass becomes experience. But interiors are still contained. They exist within a larger structure. To fully understand Brutalism, we need to step outside and look at the architecture itself. The striking power of exposed concrete. Brutalism, love it or hate it, this architectural style is impossible to ignore. Emerging in the 1950s, Brutalism became popular in post-war Europe, reflecting a desire for honesty and functionality. The name comes from the French term béton brut, meaning raw concrete, which is the defining material of this style. So, what makes Brutalism so distinct? Brutalist buildings are known for their bold, blocky shapes and rugged, exposed surfaces. Architects emphasized geometric forms, repetitive patterns, and a fortress-like feel. Think of massive concrete structures like London's Barbican Estate or Boston's City Hall. They stand as powerful statements of strength and durability. Why was Brutalism so popular? After World War II, there was an urgent need for affordable housing and public buildings. Brutalism was a practical solution. Concrete was cheap, durable, and quick to construct. But it wasn't just about efficiency. Brutalist architects like Le Corbusier and Allison and Peter Smithson believed in creating honest architecture that didn't hide its materials or structure. But why is it so controversial? Some people find Brutalism cold, oppressive, or even ugly. Yet, for others, its raw, unpretentious aesthetic is a symbol of strength and functionality. It's also making a comeback today, appreciated for its boldness and integrity. Brutalism in modern times. Despite the controversy, brutalism is being re-evaluated by a new generation. Its rugged charm is celebrated in photography, art, and even interior design. These concrete giants are now icons of urban landscapes, admired for their unapologetic presence. Love it or hate it, brutalism leaves a mark. Its boldness challenges us to see beauty in the raw and the real. So, what do you think? Is brutalism a masterpiece or a monstrosity? Let us know in the comments. Brutalism is not about concrete. It's about clarity, about form that doesn't apologize. Whether in furniture, interiors, or architecture, it asks us to see structure, not decoration. If this perspective resonates with you, subscribe for more design analysis. See you in the next episode.